Hi, Grizzlies, and welcome back to another episode of Grizzly True Crime. My name is Gisela K, and I've got some very special guests with me today. We have Chris from the Mob Crew, we've got the Real Gon Gonzo, and at some point during the stream, we're going to have Cop Facts, Perry Freeman, joining us as well. If you don't know who they are, we've done interviews with all the guests today, so please check out the Delphi playlist, the Flora playlist, and guests on the show. Welcome.
It's good to be here. Thank you.
Yeah. Yes, thank you so much. So we're all here together because all of us are very passionate about the Delphi case and the Flora case being solved, which are both unsolved for more than 5 years now, which in itself is a crime. It's so ridiculous. So there's been some new developments. It seems like, we can't say definitely, but it seems to be connected to the Delphi case, right?
It looks that way.
Yes.
It does look that way.
Right.
Let's hope so.
Yeah, let's hope so. So I know that some of you are new to the Grizzly community and you might not have a clue about any of these cases, which is okay. We've got playlists for that. And we can go over the timeline a little bit later. But it's just the important things to remember is that on November 21st, 2016, there was an arson attack on a house that killed 4 little girls. And then on February 13th, 2017, which is not very long later, in the same sort of Delphi Flora area, 2 young girls were murdered, and both of these murder cases are unsolved today. So I wanted to show you guys. Oh, Perry Freeman's with us. Wait, let's see. There we go. Good evening to you, Perry, or afternoon.
Hello.
Hello. Thank you for joining us. I thought I'd start with this little news clip just so that everyone can get up to speed, what's happening, and then we can chat about our thoughts, if we think this is in any way connected to the Delphi case, and if we are in any way getting closer to having the case solved, and hopefully also the Flora case. Right?
Sure.
Okay. All
Absolutely.
right, everyone. So let's have a quick look at this clip.
Took temporary custody of Kegan Kline earlier this month. That move and other moves could potentially signal some new progress in the investigation into the murders of Libby German and Abby Williams in Delphi.
A podcast called The Murder Sheet first reported the new developments, and that includes a search and negotiations with a prosecutor. Fox 59's Russ McQuaid takes the story from there.
Parties won't comment on the record, and we can't report what we know off the record. All we're left with are court documents that often leave tantalizing clues as to the progress into the investigation of the murders of Abby Williams and Libby German near Delphi 5.5 years ago. Kegan Kline's name first surfaced within days of the murders of Abby Williams and Libby German because investigators say Kline was communicating with Libby, claiming to be social media persona Anthony Schatz, who agreed to meet the 14-year-old girl on the Monon High Bridge above Deer Creek on February 13th, 2017, the day the children disappeared. Investigators raided Kline's house in Peru 12 days later and said they found child pornography, but no direct link to the Delphi murder.
Sorry, guys. It should have come with a trigger warning. Trigger warning. This content's for adults only. It's a true crime case, of course. It's a true crime channel, and normally we would say CP for that.
Kline has been in jail, charged with 30 counts of child pornography for the last 2 years. But last week, state troopers asked a judge if they could take him into temporary custody.
But it has to be an important case for the detective to take those extraordinary steps to work with someone like that. And obviously there has to be something that detective is looking to offer that person for cooperating.
Anne Kane of the podcast The Murder Sheet shot these photos Tuesday of police divers in the Wabash River, not far from Kline's house, looking for something.
Our understanding from anonymous sources is that search is connected to something involving Kegan Kline.
And this happened at the same time Kline's attorney was asking a judge to delay his client's pretrial hearing because, quote, negotiations were taking place.
A police officer can't just go to a suspect or a defendant that's in jail without getting the clearance of the defense attorney. All those things happening at the same time certainly is an indication there's further investigation going on, and obviously they're looking for something.
The state police and FBI turned down our request for comment. Kline has...
Interesting, right? Okay, let me remove this. All right. Chris, you were disappearing for a second there. Okay, so we've got a great panel here with us. Thank you so much, everyone, for being here. Maybe we could just, I don't even know where to start. Let me ask Perry, what are your thoughts on this news? Because I know you follow this case very closely. So for them to take Kegan Kline out of jail for a day, he goes and points out an area near his home at the Wabash River, and then they put him back in jail and they're searching there. What do you think about that?
Well, I think, the obvious thing is that he's trying to work with law enforcement to improve his standing with his case. I understand a prosecutor was involved also while he was out of jail. They had him checked out. And so obviously if there's a prosecutor talking to him along with law enforcement, there's probably a plea deal discussed. If you can give us this, we can help you with that kind of thing. It's obvious that they're looking for something in that river related to Kline, and that very well could be related to Delphi. Whether it's a phone, which I think there was a phone missing, could be a hard drive, could be a number of different things. So let's hope for the best. Let's hope they find what they're after.
I really hope so. He doesn't, I know we can't just judge on looks, but he doesn't look like BG, right? It'll be quite a shock if he ends up being Bridge Guy, right? BG guys, for you guys who don't follow the case, don't worry, we'll go over it. And there's a huge playlist for you guys. But BG is Bridge Guy. He doesn't look like Bridge Guy, right?
No, he's a little big. He's a little big.
Yeah, too big.
Right?
Being nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
But he runs in circles, that, we know his father. He can kind of fit that description. He's a little tall, but still that's interesting. It's interesting. I'm interested to see what kind of deal, what came up about yesterday and what's going on behind the scenes. We all are. So I think we just got to stay tuned and we got to be here when it happens, right?
Exactly. Oh, man. And Chris, that's what you're also saying. This could be huge if, of course, the case gets solved, right?
Yes. And then just on the lines of that discussion, you got one guy that a lot of people think that does sound like the same voice, which is Kegan, but his body type doesn't unfortunately match up very well. But then you got the father who could be, but he seems a little bit too tall. But his voice, from what we understand from the stepbrother and stepsister, say that, he's got kind of a lighter tone voice and doesn't match up. So it is a little weird, but it's exciting that they're doing something though.
Yeah, hopefully they are actually making some progress in these cases. As much as, did you, Perry and Gonzo, did you hear about the FBI blunder in the case where they didn't get the surveillance footage from the Marathon gas station? Did you hear about that? That was like, oh no.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody's always ready to attack law enforcement. Let me just say, in my career, I've pulled many SD cards and tried to get stuff out of cameras, our own cameras like trail cams, cameras from stores, and it's not unusual that there's nothing on them. Many times they don't set it up right. It's not that unusual. I'm thinking that it's possible that story's been twisted a little bit. Maybe not. Maybe they did botch it. I've seen lab people in a homicide botch evidence, make mistakes in the lab. So it can happen, but don't know. It would sure have been nice if they had captured somebody in that Marathon station that day for sure.
Which would prove they were in the area, right? And not in Las Vegas, that they would actually there. It would really uncover a big lie. Because, wasn't it on that day that Kegan Kline said, yep, I'm a blackjack dealer now. Yep, I'm in Vegas. I'm not there. Oh, man.
Interesting. That's true.
Mm-hmm. So here's some of the pictures from these searches that they've been doing. Interesting. I don't know if have you seen these pictures? I'm sure we've all seen them, right? Chat, if you haven't seen it, this is on Reddit. They're searching I'll put the map on in a moment. They are searching north in Peru, Indiana, north of Delphi. It's kind of northeast. And near this
Gonzo.
Wabash River. Yes.
Gonzo could probably tell us better, let's just say it's a cell phone that we're looking for. What do you think the odds are that they're going to find it, even if someone told them where they thought they tossed it, with water rising during flood times and those kind of things? Where do you think that phone would be? You think it's still there, or would it be 100 yards down the river, or what do you think?
It really depends. I mean, it depends on how muddy the base and the bottom of that river is. Dredging going on. They don't do a lot in that particular body of water, but I mean, look how shallow that is right there. Yeah, we know the water levels rise. It's been a long time too. So I think it's important, if they do find something or did recover something, that it still works. If it is electronic, if it has memory capabilities or anything of that nature. But if it's a weapon or something like that, then possible, it still has some kind of DNA or prints or something on it. But I mean, if it's a electronic device, oh man, they're up against it. That stuff's lighter. It's, more susceptible to being washed down a ways. So I think it's just important that they're there and they're looking and they're coherent to what's going on. So they're following up, and that's what we want to see ultimately. So
exactly. I just want to find some more pictures so we can look at it like this. Wow. They're really looking. And they've been looking for about 8 days. Is that right, Chris? I heard on your show you were saying about 8 days.
Day 9. So they started the 16th or 17th, I believe. One of those days. So, 9 days now.
And
that's what we want to see.
Yes.
Chris, they're still at it now, Chris?
Yes, from what I've heard, I've had a local email me saying that, because when I went live yesterday, and I had a local in the chat saying that they drove by and saw them out there, and they emailed me today saying they were out there again.
Okay, good.
That's great.
Wow.
Yeah,
that's what we want to see right there.
Yeah, even before they took got custody of Kegan Kline, who's in the Miami County Jail right now, facing more than 30 CP charges. Even though they searched before on around the 16th and then took him out of the county jail on the 19th, I believe. I mean, wow. And then he pointed at an area, which is very interesting, which is, again, why does his name come up in the Delphi case? Don't worry, for all of you know, there's lots of catch-up videos, and we can go over it again later. Thank you for being here. I really appreciate it. I know most people have been following me lately. There's a lot of new Grizzlies for the Kylie Rodney case. This case is very interesting as well, and I would encourage you to deep dive it and help spread awareness, because we'd like to, fight for the justice of Abby and Libby, and of course also in the Flora fire, which we've covered as well. There's a separate playlist for that. But man, look at how they're searching. I wonder, yes, as we say, is it a phone would be interesting. I mean, it could be one of the victims' phones, right? But Kegan's already had 6 devices confiscated from him. So.
Yeah, and we also know where Kegan lived, so this body of water is important in that geographical timeline. This body of water is everything on the way home, possibly. We kind of know, and I think Chris covered that as well. So it's just interesting, and I think it's just great news that people are looking into it, and they are doing the due diligence, getting out there and getting their hands dirty. So let's just hope for the best.
Right. So I just want to put this on so everyone can see the map a little bit. So these are the pictures. Sorry. Let's do it like this. Is that okay? Okay, let's just see if we can do it. There we go. Now you guys can see the map, right? Okay, so if I just quickly show you so that everyone knows, let's also just go to this one. Then you can see. So the murders of Abby and Libby took place on February 13, 2017 at this Monon High Bridge area. That Marathon gas station we just mentioned is right here, as you can see, where, surveillance footage would have just helped to prove that Kegan Kline and or his dad were in the area at the time. That would help, but they don't have that now. And then if you just look at where Kegan Kline lived, because now he's in jail with his dad, I believe it's this address, not too sure, but it's along this Wabash River. And so it's interesting that Kegan Kline I mean, he was arrested in 2020 already, was taken out of jail for a day to show them an area, and it just so happened to be along this, is this correct, Chris? This South Business 31, this Wabash River Bridge, right? Here.
Yeah, they mentioned that. So right north of that is the utility company supply. That's what the murder sheet said, that they had parked near that utility. And yes, there's the...
Like that.
Mm-hmm. That's a very unique bridge, too, with the color. And
yes, and you were pointing out that there was somewhere around here.
it looked like they had a station set up somewhere right there. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. It's just
That's
incredible.
a great view. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. It
Interesting.
reminds me of John Wayne Gacy a little bit. You know how John Wayne Gacy discarded of people over bridges. So bridges are a great place, I suppose, to chuck evidence or whatever it could be, which is, wow. More than 5 years later, they're searching in this water here, guys. We don't know for what. We don't know if it is connected or not, but it's very interesting relating to the Delphi case. Goodness. And so close to their house as well.
There you go.
Yeah, that's the thing. So if I go out of this view again, and we look like this, I mean, it's within 6 minutes drive from their house. So we've got their house and then where they're searching around this area. Right?
I think there's access around the backside as well. If you go over that bridge, you can actually loop back over on the other side closer to their house to get over. So there's a couple routes there. So, I mean, it's in play, I would say.
Wow. Yeah, I can see what you mean if you go along the river here, especially. Like something like that. Wow. I mean, what a development. I can't believe I actually missed this. It's been a few days now already that it's been out. I've been so busy looking at the Kylie Rodney case. I was like,
we've been busy.
What?
Yeah.
Damn. When you hear about this, you're like, sorry, what now? What did they do? They took Kegan Kline out of jail for a day. So for him to point out an area, now they're searching that. That is crazy news in this case after all this time. Wow. Okay.
That's an interesting field trip.
Yeah. Very interesting field trip indeed. I just quickly want to show this as well. Sorry for all the thing I'm showing, and then we can discuss as well. So here they say, comes now the state of Indiana by Miami County Chief Deputy Prosecuting Attorney Peter Diedrichs, and comes now also the defendant by Attorney Andrew Akey. And both parties respectfully request that the court approve the agreed order as provided below herein, specifically that the Miami County Sheriff's Department be authorized to temporarily place the defendant in the above captioned cause into the secure custody of the Indiana State Police, and that upon the conclusion of said temporary custody, the defendant be returned to the custody of the Miami County Jail. Thank you to at Chasing Paper 89, the document guy, the docket on Twitter for sending me this. Thank you so much. That's very helpful to see it like this because I just previously screen grabbed it. But here we've got this was on the 19th of August where Kegan had a day trip. Oh yes, to the Wabash River. Oh my word. Okay, I don't know what other questions are. What else can we say? I'm so shocked by this news that that's what they're doing. Thoughts that you want to share?
I just hope it's involved with the Delphi case. Oh, sorry, Perry Freeman. Go ahead.
Right.
Well, just real quick, I just so many people have made comments on different channels, or the creators have made the comments that the cops aren't doing anything, they're not paying any attention, they're not working this. I've always tried to halfway defend them and convince people they are working it. And this is proof that they have been working it. This didn't just happen like that. They've been working toward this. And I'm sure the attorneys have been talking, law enforcement's been talking, and they're working it. You got to trust the plan, as Gonzo said. It's happening.
Yep. Exactly. Wow. Sorry, this comment is golden. Wait, what? I just tuned in. All my favorite YouTube gods are in one place. Whoa, I'm not worthy. It's a great panel, guys. If you don't know any of these guys on my panel now, man, you got to check out their channels. You'll see. So we've got Perry Freeman, U.S. Superior's police chief for 17 years, and an undercover detective, friends with Joe Kenda. I know you guys will know who that is. And you've written a book, The House Secrets, as well as made some documentaries, right? Anything else you want to add there? So that people can check your channel, Cop Facts, go check that out.
Well, I was 17 years in Colorado Springs before I moved to Nebraska. So that's where I worked with Kenda.
Right. Yes. So go and check out Cop Facts and his coverage of true crime cases as well. Then we've got The Real Gone Gonzo. You're kind of like an undercover true crimer, huh? Adventure, treasure hunter, rock climber, but like an undercover true crimer.
I'm a part-time YouTuber. Yeah. I'm not much on YouTube, but I'm here to, help out on any cases that I can get my hands on. And it's interesting times in a lot of these cases right now, coming off Kylie's case. These things come in waves. So, let's look for the third wave in the next week or so here. So I'm looking for some of these dominoes to kind of fall into place. So
Exactly.
Let's be coherent for it.
I mean, it will be so amazing. More than 5 years. I mean, it's 5.5 years now that these cases are unsolved. But I say these guys, I mean, the Delphi case and the Flora fire case as well, which we've covered on this channel. And we've also done a panel on, so go check that out. But it'll be amazing to see justice for those victims. Oh, my word. And then, sorry, we've got Chris from the Mob Crew as well. I hope you guys know Chris. He's been on the channel a few times. Go check out the Mob Crew. All the channels that I've just mentioned are linked in the description box. So just go click on there, subscribe to all 3 channels, and check out their content. And thank you, Mods, for sharing it. And Mods, please let me know if you want me to slow down the chat, because I see there's quite a few people here as well. All right. So as I say, one hand washes the other. When there's a wave, a case that's very popular, it's very important to bring about other cases that haven't got the media attention. So I was thinking we could maybe talk a little bit again about the Flora fire, if you guys wanted to.
Absolutely.
Sure.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Carroll County needs our help. Carroll County's been up against it for 5-6 years, 6 years and some change. And, it's just important with all the coverage that Delphi gets. And it's as important to get these little girls in Flora, get their names, their stories, and everything out there and keep it in the limelight, and that's what we did last time me and Perry came on your channel, and we're just looking for answers, and, we're just trying to stay positive and, bring all the nutrition back towards that case as well. It's still in my mind, and I know it's in many. Let's just keep plugging away at it.
Absolutely. So let's make sure we make the 1,200 people. Thank you for being here. If you've never heard of this Flora house fire, let me just quickly tell you this one. So on November 21st, 2016, they said it's a dark day in the Carroll County town of Flora. I'll try to zoom in a little bit for you guys. The loss of life of the little girls was just devastating, said Flora business owner Cassandra Hammond. 5 years ago, sisters 5-year-old Keone Welch, 7-year-old Carrielle McDonald, 9-year-old Kiara Phillips, and 11-year-old Kiana Davis were killed when their house caught fire. Their mother, Galen Rose, was the only one to make it out of the burning home. Cassandra Hammond's business is across the street from where the fire-damaged home still stands. It's just a very sad reminder of what took place in that house and the devastation that those girls must have went through, Hammond said. The fire was ruled an arson in January of 2017, and even though half a decade has passed, the case remains unsolved. It's very difficult to believe that nobody knows, said Indiana NAACP State Conference President Barbara Bowling-Williams, like it just fell into a black hole or something. They said they've been trying to help with the investigation. Now, we've also been trying to help Grizzly, so please do, if you could even just like the video and share, leave a comment and share this on social media, that could already help. Because we want to keep this case in the media spotlight, because we want to continue to fight for justice for the victims in this case. They say, after all these years, why can't they discuss it in detail? Perhaps using the media might help to continue to shine some light on it and get some resolution. If nothing else, these children, these girls need peace. They need some resolution. So there is, I can't remember now. Sorry, what is the reward amount? Here they say there's a $5,000 reward. What? I can't remember. What was it last time when we looked? Was it 5,000?
I think
wasn't
5,
it 18? Oh,
yeah.
18 is what they. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Was the one that was done locally.
Oh,
And,
yes.
That's what it was.
It's waiting. It's actually been turned over to the fire department, which whatever.
Yeah, oh yeah. We discussed that last time, guys. So on the Flora playlist on my channel, go there and you can see the last panel we did where we started talking about some of the speculative or possible corruption in this case, and how you guys can help to spread awareness and email Fox 40 News and other news channels so they can start covering the case again or more. If you know anything, they say you're asked to call 1-800-382-4628. So this was just a very brief overview. We've done 2 deep dives on this case. So please do check that out. Wow. Okay. So what else can we say about that? So thank you everyone for being here. Thank you for doing that. A lot of people saying like to share on Twitter, share hashtag #FloraFire, Delphi case, of course. And today might just be the day that one of these cases or both get solved.
And
Let's hope.
maybe some of your audience is not aware. It's the same county as Delphi.
Yes.
It's like less than 10 miles away. And it's 2.5 months difference, November of 16 and February of 17.
Exactly, yes. So I'll show them quickly here. So we've got the Monon High Bridge Trail and the Monon High Bridge, which is where the Delphi murders took place. I saw some of you guys saying, sending Adventures of Purpose. No. The bodies were found there. It's just an unsolved case. Even though there's video of this guy on the bridge, we've got video, we've got the voice of him saying, guys, down the hill. There's so much seeming evidence, but the case remains unsolved more than 5.5 years later. So that is the Monon area in Delphi here. And on this, you can see how close it is. In Flora, same county, right? Is that the right word? Same county?
Yep.
Yes.
It's about 8 miles. Yeah, it's real close.
Yeah.
Those
Super
communities overlap. Like, I mean, everybody knows everybody in those two communities. It's wild.
Yes, exactly. So that's why we often talk about them together, in case you guys didn't know. And if this was a potential serial killer, I mean, if you study serial killers, some of them change their MOs. Some of them could commit arson. They could be quite into arson and then change their MO later. So it may be linked. I'm not sure if it is. What do you feel? Do you feel it's linked at all? Speculatively.
Don't know.
Yeah. Just similar within a 3-month time period, unsolved, more than 5 years. So, of course, we want to see both solved, of course. Yes, that's the thing. This is your first time. They say six dead kids in that county and no arrests. I'm guessing that says what the fudge? Exactly. Exactly.
That's
what's
true.
it.
Yeah.
Yes. Wow.
It's scary.
Gisela,
It's scary.
Your help with making people aware of the Flora thing has worked. Fox 59 has snooped around a little bit. I've heard that some people have actually confronted people, let's just say people in Flora, and it really ticked them off that the true crime world knows as much as they do.
Nice.
That's
Yeah.
good.
there's
Well,
some-
you got to
Oh no, sorry. I don't
ask
wanna
the
interrupt.
hard questions every once in a while, and you got to shake a couple trees to get answers. It's really easy to think that people aren't working and things are going, being overlooked. So every once in a while, we got to raise a little hell, right? And we did that, and your platform was a great base for that, and it's working. Trust the process, right?
Absolutely. Yes. Sorry, just this one says autopsy and arson report. So the autopsy report in the Delphi case has never been released, and the arson report hasn't been released either, and it might have even been a little bit messed up. So that's where we are with that. Wow. But that's good to hear. We want to shake some off. We want to shake the tree some more, see what falls out. So
That's
everybody
it.
watching, welcome to it. We do like to shake the trees sometimes and see, what can we make a difference? Can we, as you said, raise hell? What's going on, guys? Are you still looking at the case? We're all watching, because I think sometimes they think we'll forget about some cases.
Well,
gonna
we can
forget.
use our strengths, as a crowdsource effort, whether it's the awareness, the research, the boots on the ground, we can all kind of work together to kind of cover the bases here. And, the more people doing the right things for the right reasons, putting in the work, we're going to force law enforcement, to give us more answers. And I think that moves everything along. And I'm going to stand by it.
Yes. Wow. They say, good, let's shake them up. We don't want them running scared, but I know what you mean. I know what you're trying to say, Ms. Wales. Well, shake them up. Just make sure they know we're all watching. We're all watching. This case won't go away. No, we'll continue to fight for justice for the victims. Bring the hellfire. Exactly, Natasha. Bring the hellfire. Wow.
I'm with you.
Yeah.
Yes. I just want to see if there's something I missed here that I wanted to show. think that's no. Did you guys listen to the Murder Sheet podcast of when all this, the latest episode? Wow, just hearing
did,
how
most
this all
of it,
came about.
yeah.
Right. And they're on it, huh? They just like, as soon as this, they're watching it so good. They're watching the documents, the court stuff, and then they're watching what happens, and they're in the area and went out there. Which
They're local.
Gonzo, I think you were also kind of out there, or no, Gonzo?
Yeah, I've been out there a few times. So, planning on making another trip directly, but yeah, them guys are there. They're plugged in. They get the inside vantage point on it, and I think I'm always blown away by what they come up with, and I think they're pretty classy. Yeah, I mean, I think they're doing the right things. It's super hard to cover this stuff and not step on some toes and have a couple run-ins here and there. So I don't want to be in their position, but I think they're doing big work.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'd have to agree with that. Because I know there was with the Murder Sheet and Libby's sister, Kelsey German, there was a little bit of some rocky stuff going on for a bit, but they cleared the air, which is amazing because I think she's starting to see that, it's been 5 years and bringing all this to light is kind of probably helped bring in some new tips. So hopefully will lead to something.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
It's a hard deal. Once you go out there on a limb and you're covering it and you're getting inside info and, what they brought out with the Ron Logan affidavit and all that, it's like, that's some scary stuff to put out there. And I'm glad they're doing it and not me. I'm not equipped for that world, but I mean, that kudos to them. They're doing big work.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow. They say, why is it associated with Delphi? I'm late. Just it's in the same county and within a 3-month period. So that's the reason we look at both cases at the same time. Especially because the Delphi cases obviously had a lot of media attention. The Flora one, not so much. So it would be great to make everyone aware of the Flora case as well, so that you guys can share, spread awareness for that case that really needs it very badly. So if you could do that, guys, that'll be amazing. Yes. Wow. Okay. Panel of experts. And I don't know what to ask because I'm shocked that this is even happening. I mean, I'm getting quite excited that this could maybe be solved. For a while, it felt like, what if it goes cold? But I think, as Perry said, they're working it. Trust the process.
We won't let it.
Yeah,
we won't let it go cold.
Exactly.
That's for sure.
We're shaking the trees, guys. We're raising hellfire, and we won't let these cases go cold. Yes, exactly. From Evansville. That's an interesting question. Do you feel that is it the Evansville? Wait for it. I've covered it. Evansdale, yeah. Mm-hmm. Do any of you feel like that could be connected as well, or not at all?
I think there might be maybe a little, but
early on, I thought there was definitely some overlap there. The more I've looked at it in the last 2 years, I don't know. But I feel like it's definitely possible. We do know that some serial killers, they like to play with arson. I mean, arson is in a lot of their, wheelhouses. So it's like, I don't know. I mean, we got Evansdale, we got Flora, and we got Delphi. And it's like, we just got to keep the lights on for all of them and keep paying attention. But early on, I did kind of feel like there was something there. I'm not sure lately.
Yeah. Either way, man, if they could all get solved. Whew.
Wow.
The relief, oh my word, for the victims to have peace, to have justice. I mean, of course, then the justice process begins. Imagine it. Imagine if they actually catch Bridge Guy.
Oh.
Wow.
I feel like a lot of us are kind of in shock that there's actually like something going on that could be related to Delphi. I think we're all kind of like, we've been so cautious because there hasn't been anything for the longest time. And now they're out searching this river. It could be connected, maybe not, but it's connected to Kegan Kline, who was in contact with Libby, or at least Anthony Schott's account was in contact with Libby. So whoever was using that account. Yeah.
It's interesting.
Yeah, exactly. I see the news is reporting that the Anthony Schott's profile was planning to meet with Libby that day, but that hasn't been confirmed by Kegan Kline, of course. He created the profile, the Anthony_Shots profile, catfishing type profile, to solicit images from minors, guys. If you didn't know, it's a terrible case in itself. If Kegan Kline is not involved at all in the Delphi case, my word, his case is already terrible enough. So I know that they said the Anthony Shots profile was the last to speak with Libby before she was murdered, but I don't know if they were planning to meet. Do you know? That, like, the news is just reporting it now with this news, like, and they were planning to meet. Like, I don't know. That wasn't confirmed quite.
I don't think so.
No. Just to meet.
It was just the last to communicate. Yeah, but
Yeah.
we don't know. We won't know. I mean, unless there's something going on behind closed doors. We don't know what those conversations with KK look like right now. We have no clue. We can't really speculate. We can deal with the facts, but we do know that he was, one of the last forms of contact right there, and through that profile, and that opened up a lot of stuff. That unlocked a lot of doors in this case and got people really interested. And it's interesting. I'm still on it.
Yeah, and that was December last year, right? When they just suddenly said, okay, the Anthony Shots profile, if you've had any contact with this profile, please let us know. Contact the tip line, which I'll scroll in a minute below as well. If you guys know anything, please do submit tips. Continue to do so. So that was only in December. And then initially people said, but it's not connected to Delphi. But yet they put the same Abby and Libby email address, which is how we knew it was in some way connected. Yep. Wow. And Kegan Kline, if you guys are following along who are new to the case, man, like he admitted to creating that profile, that was a shock. BCBA asked, would Perry have done anything different if he was running the Delphi investigation?
Oh, man.
Yes. Of course, on the 13th at 5:30, whenever law enforcement was notified, they're looking for missing girls. They're not suspecting a double murder. But I think that from the get-go, I think that search should have been more organized. I think someone should have been in charge with assigning certain people, with a fire official or a law enforcement official, to take a group of citizens, search certain areas, report back, eliminate those areas. So that right from the get-go, that's one thing I would have done completely different. Calling off the search that night, I can understand why he did. There's a liability factor involved. I don't know exactly when they notified the FBI and the State Patrol, but I would have had the State Patrol there as soon as the bodies were found. But I don't know. We don't know what they did, really. Everything's been so secretive. We just don't know. And that's not unusual, I worked double murders, but you don't tell the public what you're doing. Everybody says, how come they don't release more? Why don't they tell us more? Well, let's assume they told us what was going on with this latest situation, because that didn't just happen overnight. And there would have been people in the river destroying that area, or, if they knew about it. So you can't put info out to the public, and we just have to trust what they're doing. I think there's a whole lot going on that we're not aware of. And I would just point out, is it the Kylie case out west?
Yeah.
The girl from the party. We don't know, there's still questions there. And until we have an autopsy report, we're not going to know much until the black box in the car is analyzed, or are people talking from the party that we're not aware of. And my point of bringing that up is that's a strong possibility, and law enforcement's just not telling us. And it could be the same thing with Delphi. There could be people that have been talking all along to law enforcement, but they're not going to tell us who those people are. And those people are scared to death if they do know something. They're scared to death. This was a brutal, planned, targeted situation. Anybody who knows anything is scared to death.
Yes,
I
especially
don't think
in such
that
a
answered
small
your question.
community. Yeah. Oh, no, I'm just saying, such a small community, they must be terrified,
They never dealt with anything quite like this either. I mean, Obviously, Flora, same county, a couple months before, but a double murder, a double homicide, man, they weren't equipped. And it's easy for us, hindsight's 2020, to go in and start punching holes in what they did and how they handled it. But in reality, we do not know what we don't know about it.
Exactly. Man, it's just good to see what's happened now. Like, oh, wow, okay. That proves to us, just trust the process. Of course, the public, I mean, isn't the stat that the public knows maybe like 5% of what's really going on in the case?
I believe it.
Wow,
It's
imagine
close.
that. We feel like we know exactly what's happening. It's like we know 5%. Imagine it. Oh, my word. They must be shaking their head. Like, wow. So it's just good to see that there is something's happening. Something's in the works. So,
yeah,
sure. And there is the death penalty is in Indiana, but only for murder, right? I looked that up. Where was that? So, do you think that if Kegan Kline is in any way involved, do you think maybe he's cooperating and showing them an area for a plea deal to avoid the death penalty? Something like that? Could be.
It's possible. Very possible. I mean,
well, that's
wouldn't be
if
the
he's
first
involved
time.
in the murder.
Exactly.
If he is, yeah exactly.
Or has any knowledge at that. He's up against the world on so many other charges. We know that community was really tight. A lot of the players that everybody's looked at in this Delphi case kind of overlap in one way or another, from all these POIs and people that, their lives have been torn apart online. Man,
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of overlap. That community's tiny. When you get out there, I mean, everybody knows everybody, and everybody has dealt with, their neighbors are just that close. It's very possible.
Yeah. So yeah, I suppose the devices also open up a whole lot of people.
There you go.
A whole group of people that could be connected, and that could be difficult to prove, especially with like a VPN. Imagine that. If it's a VPN and you can't really prove the location and they all connected somehow, wow, that would be quite something. Kiwi said, yeah, if there was more than one person involved, the other person may have gone back to get the evidence already. So I guess I would ask Perry, do you think that's possible? I mean, obviously it's possible, but maybe not. Maybe they think chuck the evidence or whatever it is in the river.
Yeah, I'm assuming
about
we're
it.
talking about the river. I would think, KK and his dad are probably the only ones that know where that was tossed. Possible that TK may have done that already. Yeah. So that's possible. Yes. But I really doubt that anybody else is aware of what and where things were hidden like that, like the river situation. I think that's what the question was about.
Yes. Yep. Nicholas, South African. Hello. Hey, Gisela. Nice to have Chris Gonzo and Perry, which means Uncle Perry. Nice to have us all. Thank you so much for supporting the channel as well. Say, yo, Perry, great panel. Oh, my word. I'm glad you guys are excited, though. This is a really great panel. I'm very excited as well. I think you guys, while I've been covering the Kylie Rodney case, slowly but surely, people are saying, wow, you have like no emotion on your face anymore because it's just so grim and somber. But I don't know. I'm very excited to have you guys here, even though the topic is very hard still. But thank you for being here today. It's wonderful to have you here.
Honored to be invited.
Yes.
Like stepping up to the majors there or something.
Yeah.
Here they say the guy in the video is not a young man. So they're talking about Bridge Guy, if you guys aren't aware. Bridge Guy. The guy in the video is not a young man. Well, not that we can see in
How
that
do you know?
tiny little clip. How do we know? Ooh, that little clip. Oh, man. Chris, do you know if it's on this actress Ria's timeline? I can't remember now. Is the video on there?
It is, yes. As a matter of fact, if you just scroll down on the timeline, there's the video, and if you scroll down a little bit more, there's the audio. Yep, there you go.
Thank you,
Now-
Fiona. And I know I missed one earlier. Sorry, guys. I'm not going to call out super stickers the whole time. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. I really appreciate it. I'll look at it at the end. Okay. So sorry. Carry on.
Nope, you're good.
This is the video of Bridge Guy, guys. This is all we have. How many seconds was this again? It's like we have like 2 seconds.
I think it's 48 frames. 1 second.
Oh man, that's what we have filmed by the phone of one of the victims who, had the brilliant idea to start filming. So obviously, I think there was much more filmed, but this is just the clip that they've released. And we don't know if this is an old guy, young guy. I get why you guys say it. That's probably not a very young dude, but we don't know.
That's what we have, right? I mean, they have a lot more. They might have different views. They might be able to clean up certain aspects to the video. Of course, they have the technology and the means to get that done. They might have given us the most pixelated, choppy version of that video for a reason. I've always, thought that, but that's what we got.
We can zoom in. So that's what we got, guys. I have deep dived this case, as has the Perry Freeman, Gonzo, Mob Crew, all of us. So go check out our channels. Have a look. We've looked at all of this before with presentations, timelines, map time, all the stuff you guys love. But here is a little clip of it, just so that you can see if you don't know anything about it. That's all we got. That's what we got. And then we've also got this little clip that just says guys down the hill. Initially, they just released down the hill. And then later, guys down the hill. Here it is. And that is on a loop. So he only said guys down the hill, and that's it. 43 seconds, I believe they've said, is what they may have. They may have more. So if you guys do want to see, if you want to read through a timeline, this is a very brilliant site as well. Actus-Reus.com Delphi timeline. I'm going to put it in the chat if you want to just go and have a browse. If you don't know anything about this case, that's a good place to start, because they literally break it down for you brilliantly with the locations and everything. And I'm scrolling as well the tip line, Abby and Libby tip at CACOSHRF.com. You can call the tip line as well, 844-459-5786, if you know anything. It's never too late to hand in a tip if you're watching and you know, because maybe someone who knows is watching all the content. Say something, right? Wow.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Interesting. Walks like an amputee from the knee down. Interesting. Or like someone with a knee injury. Speculatively.
Well, we know that that bridge, the Monon High Bridge, is railroad ties, and they're strategically placed. There's gaps that big in the middle. A lot of the wood is warped, and I walk like that on that bridge. Just saying.
I was just about to ask, have you walked the bridge?
Absolutely, several times. Front, back, been underneath it, around all the surrounding properties. I got to get the full vantage point on the whole area when I go. And I mean, that bridge is scary. Just from afar, it's scary. Walking across it, it's a different world. And we can't know anything about his gait from that video.
Yeah.
Yeah,
exactly.
I'll just point out one thing, that because I've seen that video just like many of us 1,000 times. You got to keep in mind that it replays, and it's just 1 second. And the way that they started it and restart it, it adds that limp. It almost just adds that extra kind of, because everybody that sees it always says he's got a limp or it's a peg leg or something. But it's just the way that it's looped that it just looks like he's walking with a limp. But I think it's just a loop doing that.
Absolutely.
And Chris, wouldn't you agree that every inch of that bridge guy's body has been analyzed and
overanalyzed, reanalyzed?
I've certainly tried. I've even dressed up as him and done some experiments.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, which was great to see as well. You reenacted the whole thing with different outfits and options, especially what's maybe happening around his neck. That was great. So if you haven't checked that out, guys, it's on The Mob Crew. Type The Mob Crew. You've also got a playlist, right? Delphi. Go check it out. That was really good as well. Here, KK's voice in the down the hill portion. Thanks, Tom. Kegan Kline's voice. Maybe. We don't know. But I'm very glad to see that law enforcement is, of course, making progress, guys. That's what we're here to share with you today. They are making progress. More than 5 years later, the case is not cold. It will hopefully not stay unsolved. And as Becky Petty says every day on Twitter, she says, today is the day. Maybe today is the day. Have you seen it?
Let's hope.
Let me show you. Becky Petty. I try to retweet as much as possible. So here's her Twitter. Becky Petty is Libby German's grandmother, one of the victims, for you guys who don't know. And every day she says something beautiful, like this is a beautiful rainbow, and Sparkly says today is the day. Every single day she says today is the day. Wow. Like, so if you are on Twitter, make sure you follow Becky Petty as well. Make sure you follow me too. And Chris Gonzo, are you on Twitter? And Perry?
I'm not.
I'm not.
I'm barely on YouTube.
Oh man, you're here though. Thank you, man.
Thank you.
You're right
Thank
here
you.
with the Grizzlies. So look, guys,
Love
if you see
Grizz.
today is the day. Yeah, love the Grizzlies. We're all Grizzlies over here. Oh man,
all
so
are.
every day, right? Look at it.
It's
Today's
just
the day, every single
positivity.
day.
They're in it. I mean, this is the light. This is the process. She gets the people up, and everybody's going. Everybody wants to see good things happen in this case. We all are running towards truth and justice in this case, and this is just positive reinforcement on that. So,
Yes.
Yeah.
cheers to her.
Between Chris and Gisela, we've got 80,000 subscribers between you two. So you've got a huge audience, both of you, and it's great that you're doing what you're doing, both of you.
Yeah, thank you. Some of our community overlaps quite nicely. Hey, Chris.
I'm sure.
We've got a very similar
Absolutely.
vibe. Similar
Sure.
respect for the victims. We like to cover crime the same way, so it's very nice to collab as well, and just to have the support from both communities. It's really, really great. Oh wow, Tom! I think Carter's going to bring the hammer down before he retires. Nice. Then I hope he does.
I have no doubt.
He wants it. Yeah. He's there. That guy's been up against it as long as anybody, and he's been there since the beginning, and he feels he owes this to the families of the victims, and let's just hope that he gets what he, deserves and what he wants as a result. Doug's the man.
Yeah, for me, initially, if you've watched any of the videos where I pick apart everything he says, like, whoa, he was a red flag. But now I'm understanding, like, damn, he is like practically salivating over solving this case. He just so badly wants it. And I think he knows, that one piece that they need.
Yep.
He's just like dying to solve this case. So, yep, I understand. Why, sometimes he literally licks his lips and he's literally like all edgy, and I'm like, what is up with this guy? He's so scary. But yet I get it. I'm like, oh, okay, one piece, and maybe they're getting closer to just that one piece. Wow.
Let's hope.
And they might be dealing with someone quite powerful in the community. That's my one speculation.
Yeah.
Someone quite powerful whose house is quite close to that Marathon gas station. If you look on the maps, I'm like, wow. Very interesting. So you guys on Patreon know what I'm talking about. I don't know if you guys want to talk about that, you're welcome to. I just try to just keep that theory on the down low. Just waiting for the prosecution days.
We're tracking with you. We understand where you're going with that. So,
right. I'm just like, wow, that theory is quite something. Chris, you hear all about it as well from me. I was like, oh my word, this one. Thank you, Tom. You'll both have me. Thanks for bringing an awesome community. Thank you, Tom, for being here. Thank you, everyone. Wow. Any closing thoughts so we can, any calls to action that you want? What do you want the community to do or say or share?
Quit throwing out names.
yeah.
That's a good
Honestly.
one, because wow, they've been through a lot, huh? If you look at the Delphi case, wow, there's been a lot of
We've the true crime community has tore through the fabric of a lot of people's lives. In a lot of these cases, Delphi is one of the biggest, one of the most high profile, and there's been people with their whole life out in the public eye now. And if they had nothing to do with it, man, I'm sorry on behalf of them. But yeah, like Perry says, let's deal in the facts, go with what we know, trust law enforcement, trust the process, and keep plugging away with the awareness. And we're doing our part in something way bigger than us. And that's the important thing, is keeping it out there, keeping the case alive. And that's respect.
Yes. Focus on the victims and the justice for them. and try your best to protect the families, of course, as well, and trust the process. Don't throw out names because it goes to the doxing level, which is quite scary. It goes to like literally full-on doxing, and many of them have not panned out at all. So that really sucks for them. Yes, absolutely. Any closing words from you, Gonzo? I know you just said some. So from Perry, don't throw out names. Okay, let's trust. For you, trust the process. Anything else?
I mean, I think I'm with the keep it simple mentality on some of these cases. I was with the keep it simple mentality on the Kylie Rodney case. I think it's kind of trending that way. I think a lot of people started throwing names and digging into scenarios and storylines. I think, honestly, I hate to say this, but I think the true crime community low key wanted another Gabby Petito style case. Let's dig into this person. What happened here, man? And I don't think it was that complex. I think it was real simple. What happened there? I think it's going to come out. I think that's what we can do. Just keep the respect there. Keep working with the facts, and man, keep plugging away. But
keep it simple. Occam's razor. Right, tactful.
That's where I'm going with it.
Yeah. Occam's razor. The simplest answer is usually the answer, right? Especially in true crime. Wow. I think so. Not always, but usually, yeah. And Chris, any closing words from you?
Whenever I do a case, I always think of the family because it's a good chance that they'll probably watch it. If it's not the immediate family, someone in the family, especially with these high-profile cases, are watching these YouTube channels, and I just can't imagine with this last case with Kylie Rodney, some of the, to the level it got to, and I don't think. It's just tough. So I just always keep that in mind when I'm trying to cover a case and think of, especially just coming to doxing and, bringing up persons of interest. You got to be real careful. People don't understand that. And, but, when you have a platform and you start building a base, you have a responsibility.
Yes.
And
true.
Great power comes great responsibility.
Exactly. Well said. Thank you for subscribing to Mob Crew. Subscribe also to Cop Facts and The Real Gonzo. Thank you so much, Heaven57. All right. And anything, so we can go around the circle one more time, that you would like to plug? Your channel, your books, anything like that? Perry?
Sure. I mean, we're always trying to reach a bigger audience.
Yes.
But I've kind of stayed away from the Delphi thing for a while. Too much infighting between the creators.
Oh yeah, that sucks.
Didn't want to get caught up in that. Although I am thinking of doing one related to that. Well, my book, obviously, House Secrets. If anybody wants to read about what undercover narcotics is about, and
yes,
outlaw bikers and murder and that kind of stuff, I wrote about it and. Actually did some of it, and would love to sell more books for sure. Thank you.
Yeah, and go and rate it as well, guys. If you do buy the book, make sure you leave a rating as well, because that helps so much. You can get the Kindle version for just $2.29, or the paperback version is $12.99. Go check it out. House Secrets by Perry Freeman. I'll put the link in the pinned comments afterwards. And yeah, if you just type in House Secrets Perry Freeman, you can find it though. And you were still busy making a second documentary, I believe, Perry. Right?
Maybe.
It
kind of changed here a few nights ago. My partner in that venture, we couldn't find the right personnel for actors for what we wanted to do. And he came up with another concept, so we may be changing gears. But yes, to answer your question, we're going to be doing another film, yes.
Okay. Great. And Perry Freeman's channel is called Cop Facts with a double X. So go check that out and make sure you subscribe as well. There's some great videos here as well. I watch from multiple channels. So it doesn't look like I watched much of them, but I've watched almost all your videos. So go check it out, guys. John Benet Ramsey, if some of you are interested in that case as well. And there's a lot to dig into here. So subscribe over there. Go check out the book House Secrets as well. And then Gonzo. Would you like to plug anything?
Yeah, I just want to plug my buddy Perry Freeman's book again. That House Secrets. Go check it out. It's amazing. Yeah, that's been a good read, and I try to give out copies on the road when I'm out doing my casework as well. Other little channels that are kind of out there making some headway on these cases. Kristen behind the crime door.
Yes,
she's doing big work. Allie. There's just a lot of good people doing great things out here. I'm just a little guy that barely plays with YouTube, but I'm keeping an eye on things, and I'm injected into a lot of these cases. And, if anybody needs any help firsthand, I'm on the boots on the ground, and I'm willing to help out any which way, any case, anytime if I can get there. So we got a lot of good people, and, I'm with the Grizzlies. I'm one of the Grizzlies, so it's just good to be here and hanging with Chris. Chris, you've done great work. Keep it up, man. That's big work. Gisela, always a big fan. Perry, you're my mentor, man. So we're just going to keep going. I just believe in good, positive work, doing the right things for the right reasons, and let's push forward. So
absolutely.
I'm just excited to be here with you guys. So
thank you.
Yeah, likewise. And Chris as well, guys, the Mob Crew. Anything else you want to plug? Here's your channel. Go subscribe over there, guys.
I just want to say thanks for having me on the channel. You're awesome. And thank you, Gonzo and Freeman. It's an honor to be on here with you guys.
Honored to be with you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks a lot.
So thank you, everyone, for subscribing to Perry, the Real Gonzo, to the Mob Crew as well. The Mob Crew's even got a grizzly emoji, you guys. If you become a member there's little grizzly bears you can use.
That's cool.
So if you roll in and you're a grizzly, you could literally use the grizzly logo. So
love it.
Yes, go do that. So subscribe over there. Chris, when are you going live next?
Tomorrow we'll be going on a road trip. I can't say where, but we will probably be getting out the drone, and that's all I can say for now.
Drone time. Always looking forward to that drone footage. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's missing people out there. We need to get on the road.
Yes.
Perfect.
So if you guys check that out in the next, if you subscribe and hit the bell on the Mob Crew or any of these channels, you'll see what's coming up next, including over here. Tracy says, nice. I agree. Very nice. Wow. Well, thank you, Mons. Thank you, everyone, for being here. I'm sorry we didn't recap the case too much, but I'm hoping you guys will check out the playlist on any of our channels, figure out what's going on. We've all done extensive work on, both of these cases, so go check that out. Any shout-outs you want to give? You mentioned Kristen Behind the Crime Door for other channels that maybe people can check out in the Delphi case and Flora, because maybe there's some content you wouldn't recommend, which we won't talk about. So who would you recommend?
Oh,
I'll let you guys go.
It's Steve from True Crime Web. He's retired law enforcement, and he's actually going to be, he's been covering it, but he's actually going to be covering helping cold cases and doing some forensic work with some cases that they just can't get any help from anywhere. So that's super awesome. He's going out there. I've been kind of giving some tips. So True Crime Web.
True Crime Web. Okay. And then Kristen Behind the Crime Door. And what was, sorry, I can't remember the name of the other one that you guys recommended last time. I am subscribed.
Unsolved.
Yes.
Perry knows.
Are you with it? I mean,
Unsolved Crimes.
Unsolved Crimes Uncovered.
Yeah, there we go. There we go.
Okay.
She talks about a number of fires in Indiana over the past several years that are very suspicious. She's done great research.
Yes.
Big work.
Yes. I mean, some of these channels, so go subscribe there, guys. They need more subscribers because the information they have, my word, it's amazing. Incredible how they deep dive that and on the map show all the different fires and all the connections and everything. It's very, very good.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, thank you, Lieutenant Peter Pronzo. Thank you for being here. Well done, G. Thanks, guys. Excellent insight.
Mr. Pronzo.
Thank you so. Yeah, Mr. Pronzo is here as well. Thank you for being here. Maybe you'll be here with us next time. Oh my word. And hopefully the case will be solved. Oh my word. So please make sure that you like the video. That's not necessarily for me in this case. Like it so that it gets in the algorithm. We want everyone to be aware of the Delphi case, the news, keep it in the spotlight, as well as the Flora case. Share it. Use the share button. You can share a clip or just share the video on social media. That would be amazing. Thank you so much. Thank you, mods. Thank you for all the super chats and stickers and all the support. welcome to all the new Grizzlies, and please go check out the playlist. All right. Thank you, everyone. Bye.
Thanks, Gisela.
Okay.
Appreciate it.
Thank you. Bye.